Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. 2 hours of absolutely nothing. 2 hours of nothing is what you got if you tuned into tonight's episode of SmackDown Live. And I want you guys to understand something. I want you to realize that we'll be generous and we'll say 30 minutes of that time needs to be factored out and allocated to your commercial time, right? So you're figuring an hour and 30 minutes of actual showtime. And 1/3 of that showtime was devoted to everybody's favorite walking sweat gland, Shane McMahon. And you want to wonder why people are stopping their viewership of WWE programming. You could look no further than the human sweat machine, and we are going to talk about it right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare, and you are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show SmackDown Live Review. Let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Tonight's episode of SmackDown Live was nothing more than a replay of last night's Monday Night Raw. And I mean that in the most literal of senses. It's as if they took all of the worst bits of last night and decided to make a best of Monday Night Raw, color it in blue, and call it SmackDown Live. From the moment this show opened up to the minute it ended, absolutely nothing of importance happened with the exception of the return of Big E. And how do we celebrate the return of Big E to the New Day? In the tired and lame WWE's most famous match, most favorite match. We talked about it last night because every single week, seemingly now on every single show, we have to have the obligatory 6-man tag team match that means dog shit. Don't you think it would have been a little bit more meaningful to have Big E come back and go into a singles matchup, have his two buddies on the outside? Look, Big E's back. Let's see what he could do. But no, we got to turn it into a fucking 6-man. We got to get Dolph Ziggler involved. We have to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens involved. And we have to have another 6-man tag team matchup. And tonight it's going to be the main event. Last night's 4th segment on Monday Night Raw is tonight's main event on SmackDown Live. Why do we always have to go with 6-man tag team matches on every single show? We don't have to do this every time. There are other matches that you can have that feature multiple contestants if that is what in fact you need to do. You could also focus on 1 or 2 individuals in said storyline and then let the other people be off TV for a week so that, it doesn't become oversaturated and exposed. And there is nothing more oversaturated and exposed, literally and figuratively, in the case of Shane McMahon. This guy is saturated from head to toe at the start and fucking through every minute of every show. Tonight he didn't even do nothing. All he did was come out for an interview segment. He was still sweating fucking bullets. I don't know if it's his nerves. I don't know what it is, but the man just don't stop leaving a trail of sweat everywhere he fucking goes, and his sweat is ruining this show. Shane McMahon, Monday night, for almost an hour throughout the entirety of Monday Night Raw. Shane McMahon for a good 35 minutes tonight on SmackDown Live. And why is this man the biggest star in the WWE? Why is the company revolving around Shane? Which fucking storyline is he in? I was under the impression that he was being moved away from The Miz, but now tonight he's on SmackDown Live and he's in a feud with The Miz again. Where the fuck did Roman Reigns go? Did he decide not to show up at fucking work this week on Monday or Tuesday because of the state of WWE programming being so fucking horrible that even the big dog knows how fucked up things are that he don't want to show up to work? I don't understand why we are having Shane McMahon being pushed like he's the future of this company. This is the type of thing you would want to see with your champions at the very least. I understand champions showing up on multiple shows. Maybe a good idea would be why the wild card rule is ruining everything, right? The best way they could have done that is maybe the wild card rule is only for champions to use. When you're a champion, you are free to use the wild card, and you could go wherever you want, whenever you want, and defend your title at your leisure. You could show up at fucking NXT, you could show up at NXT UK, you could show up on Raw, SmackDown, at any pay-per-view and challenge anybody, anywhere, anytime, because you're the champ. You earn some sort of a special privilege, so you guys get to hold the wild card. But instead, it's just being used on guys like Drew McIntyre, on guys like Sami Zayn, and a whole list of fucking people that make this rule the most nonsensical rule ever put to any sport or television show ever. They say it's supposed to be 4, but each and every week we are having 5 or 6, sometimes even more when you want to take into account the 24/7 rule between Shane McMahon, the 24/7 fucking title. There's no reason to care about this show. The WWE loves this 24/7 title more than it loves their actual heavyweight championships. And I want you guys to wrap your head around this. Somebody in a fucking writing room somewhere, probably today, within minutes to go before showtime, took their pen, put it to paper, and wrote, "R-Truth will be locked in a box. Jinder Mahal will impersonate Carmella. R-Truth will buy this. They will be unsuccessful in freeing R-Truth from the box, and he will be shipped somewhere else in fucking California." This was their bright idea for the 24/7 championship tonight. I told you guys what I would have done with the 24/7 championship yesterday. Today I have no fucking clue. There is no way I could have salvaged what they put down on paper tonight. When you have Jinder Mahal showing up, talking to a fucking box with R-Truth in it, in a high-pitched voice, going, "Truth, it's Carmella. It's Mella. It's Mella." No, it isn't. R-Truth couldn't have possibly believed that was fucking Carmella. A blind monkey could have told you that wasn't Carmella. This is what they're writing. And why is it always fucking Jinder Mahal? What is it, Jinder Mahal's mission in life to now be the 24/7 champion since he knows he's a piece of trash? All he can do is want to be a piece of trash champion? Why is he the foil to R-Truth at every fucking turn? What happened to Bobby Roode, the first man to beat the initial champion, Titus Catering? It's a fucking mess. This whole show has just gone so far off the rails that it makes me not want to watch the WWE anymore. And that is not cool. And that's what most of you guys just say. A lot of you fucking people, "Oh, why don't you just stop watching it?" Because I love wrestling. And if you're a real fucking wrestling fan, you understand what that means. That means I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch. You always hope for the best. And we always expect the worst at this point. But I can't tell you how much worse it's actually getting. That it's exceeding my expectations in all the wrong directions. SmackDown Live tonight started off with a fucking segment. The Miz was being forced to host the Miz TV. I feel like he's being forced to host Miz TV each and every fucking time he's out there doing it. He was forced to read the whole Shane McMahon best in the world shit, but he wanted to play games with it. He wanted to call him the breast in the world. Ho 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 ho! The Miz said breast. Ha ha ha! Isn't that funny, Kevin Dunn? Ha ha ha! Juvenile, stupid, not funny. Oh, well, how about we call him the pest in the world? All the things that I used to call CM Punk. No, man, this was fucking stupid. And then the WWE wants to be slick. They want you to think that the Miz is edgy. They want you to think that the Miz is cool. That the Miz is in touch with all of us Smart Mark fans, right? So what do? They send their little fucking spies out there and they read through Twitter. And they read Instagram. And they find all the little bits and pieces. And they got their little fucking hobbit that sits in that one room in the office that scans through all of the fucking YouTube stuff. And he finds all the gems. And you hear some of the things that we said on this show last week about Shane McMahon be said on television. Now, this is a trick that WWE has been using over the last year since social media has really blown to a whole nother atmosphere in its importance, especially when it comes to storylines and angles and what you can accomplish in the world of professional wrestling on social media. And they try to take everything we said and just absolutely turn it against us. All of the things that we feel, they put it right out there on live national television for everybody to hear and go, oh, The Miz is so cool. The Miz said all this edgy shit about Shane McMahon. The Miz talking about how he's a billionaire that was born into this and doesn't have any talent and he's a no-talent hack and all of the things that everybody's been saying all over social media, not just here on this channel, but everywhere. You'd have to be blind to fucking miss it. And I don't appreciate you guys trying to take my words and the words of us fans and turning them against us and trying to get us to think, oh, look, maybe they're coming around. Maybe they think that it's cool, you know? Maybe we're cool. Maybe what we're thinking is right. No, man. They're just trying to brainwash you. It's another one of Vince McMahon's little Sith Lord mind tricks to try to get you guys to all fall in line. Oh, yeah, The Miz was so great on the mic tonight. He said some shit. He was spitting fire. He didn't say nothing that we didn't say here last week and the week before that and the week before that, especially when it pertains to Stain McStuntman. Stunt McSweatstain. How many different ways can we name Shane McMahon with the word sweat involved? That would be more entertaining than tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. After this whole fucking back and forth with this forced Miz bullshit, and Elias was out there because they needed a musical guest to piss me off, and then Drew McIntyre's out there because he's got nothing else to do. You guys, this whole thing, none of this has anything to even do with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is the hired muscle in Shane McMahon's storyline right now, which is why it's just complete dog shit. I'm going to be using that term a lot, I think, during this show. Dog shit, because that's all I kept thinking every time I'm watching it. This segment is dog shit. This segment is dog shit. This whole fucking company is dog shit. Because not only do we have this whole opening fucking 15-minute boring-ass promo segment that nobody wants to see, this leads into three matches, all pertaining to everything going on with Shane McMahon. The Miz wants to fight Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon says he'll fight The Miz once again, but all he has to do is beat Elias, and he has to beat Drew McIntyre. So, of course, The Miz beats Elias because fuck Elias, right? Elias is a scrub. The only reason we brought him here for Monday Night Raw is to lose to The Miz in this fucking match right here, right now. We're short and sweet, and actually it wasn't sweet. It was just short. Short and sweet is just the turn of phrase that I used incorrectly there. There was nothing fucking sweet about it. It was just The Miz beating Elias in record fashion, and it was fucking stupid. And then we had Drew McIntyre have his turn, and he would then beat The Miz and beat him to the point where he was so incapacitated in the ring that Shane McMahon would take easy advantage and now get another unearned, easy-ass victory. They think this is building heat on Shane McMahon. All it's making us want to do is bash his fucking skull in with good old Thor here. Because I'm so tired of seeing this shit. It's bad enough that we have to see it once a week. Now we are seeing it on every single show. All of this revolving around whatever he's going to be doing at fucking stomping grounds, shitting grounds, like we coined it last night, and we'll continue to coin it. It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Shane McMahon gets The Miz to tap out with an ugly-ass triangle choke in one of the worst opening segments of SmackDown Live I've had to ever witness. We then go to the back where we see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. and they encounter Ember Moon. And I'll be honest with you guys, I appreciated this segment, and I'm not saying that these girls are going to be the future of the WWE. I'm not saying they deserve the spotlight. I'm not saying any of that. But this segment was short and to the point, and it didn't piss me off because it actually reminded me of what the WWE used to do back in the day to familiarize us with some of their talent and what they're all about. And you got Ember Moon sitting in the back, reading comic books on her iPhone or her whatever the fuck Samsung phone she had. And you have Mandy Rose approach her, telling her to stop being a kid and read how to be a real woman, learn how to be a real woman by reading her article in Shape magazine. And it's just character building. Letting out little nuggets like that. Oh, Ember Moon is a big comic book fan. Most fans probably didn't even know that. They probably didn't even know she was still part of the WWE roster. But this is how you get people familiarized with it. This is how you make people give a shit about when Ember Moon finally does fight Mandy Rose. Because you were going to have some altercations. You were going to have something behind them fighting. Not just because it's Tuesday and we had nothing else to fill this time. So I appreciate this. It wasn't the greatest thing in the fucking world. But I appreciate this. And this was what, like 30 seconds? Ember Moon got so pissed off. After Mandy Rose told her what she told her, she snapped. She started screaming like a maniac. She's throwing trash cans all over the back. She got really intense, really fired up. So now the next time they see each other, you're going to expect something to happen. Knowing the WWE, they'll drop it like a bad habit and we won't see these two even cross paths in the hallway again. Hopefully that's not the case. We had to congratulate John Cena about becoming part of one of the most played out movie franchises of all time. 10 years too late. Like anybody gives a shit, I don't. Then we have a rare misstep with the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, Recyclable Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan, the Planet's Champions, came down to the ring. They announced they were going to take on the Yolo County Tag Team Champions. And I've seen these two kids in the ring, and before I realized that one of these two kids was former Tough Enough contestant AJ Kirsch, I was just sitting there thinking to myself, this is exactly what we seen last night in the women's division for the tag teams. We had the Iconics, the tag team champions, come out and they faced two local fucking idiots from whatever fucking town they were in last night. We are literally copying the same segment from the night before. Holy shit! At least in this case, they took a little sidestep and changed it up a little bit. You're not getting too much credit because it's still the same segment. Just because it didn't end the same way doesn't give you brownie points, motherfuckers. Heavy Machinery would come out and put an end to this, what was going to be a pretty quick squash match, only to have a squash match of their own, as Daniel Bryan had made a challenge to Heavy Machinery, who came out saying, oh, well, you're ducking us, and then, you know, Otis has to hump the air. Yeah! Bushwhacker. 500-pound bushwhacker imitation. And Heavy Machinery gets to face the Yolo County Tag Team Champions, AJ Kirsch and Dave something, in a unification match. It was going to be a unification match when they were going to fight the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. But in this case, Heavy Machinery has to beat the YOLO team, and they get to earn a shot at the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships, as per Daniel Bryan, anyway. Heavy Machinery defeats very easily the YOLO County Tag Team Champions in what amounted to be a complete waste of time. And if the WWE continues to bring in these local talents, these developmental kids, to just come up and be squashed in segments that definitely don't need them to be, then the more they use them, the less effective they're going to be. What does it really matter that Heavy Machinery beat these two kids tonight? It doesn't. Why does that qualify them to get a SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship opportunity just because Daniel Bryan said so? I didn't like it too much. It was just boring. Absolutely boring. After the match, Recycle Rowan wants to get in there, but Daniel Bryan stops him from going in there to confront Heavy Machinery. We go from this to the 24/7 champion R-Truth complaining about being the 7-Eleven champion. Yeah, I'm going to let that sink in there. This is the type of comedy that the WWE is fucking writing. Then they hear some sort of a sound. Jinder comes walking around after R-Truth jumped into the box. Carmella is told her match is next. She goes running away, leaving Jinder Mahal with this box. Jinder Mahal pretends to be Carmella. He then goes to run off and find some help to try to get R-Truth out of the box so that he could trick him and get the 24/7 title. Sonya Deville defeats Carmella in a match that I barely watched because it meant absolutely nothing. In the back, Nikki Cross approached Alexa Bliss, and now we are going back to this, another segment which we seen last night. This unnecessary and unimpressive and just completely boring pairing of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I don't like anything about it. It's doing damage to Nikki Cross. This was not the character of Nikki Cross that I was looking forward to seeing. Alexa Bliss doing the mean girl thing. We're going to focus on Twitter. Oh, allegedly Bayley saying bad things about you on Twitter. What do you got to fucking allege? Just go fire up your tweet machine. Go look for yourself. Have it up on your phone. Show it to Nikki. Obviously, she's lying. We're playing this bullshit 1980s teen drama game with cell phones and iPhones and text messaging. Great, because none of that shit was available when you were watching Degrassi Junior High back in the fucking 90s. Apparently, this is all it was missing. Cell phones. Fucking awful. Alexa Bliss gets Nikki Cross a match with Bayley. Who cares? The New Day make their way down to the ring. WWE Champion Kofi Kingston was pointing out this was going to be the return of Big E. And this is great. I'm glad that Big E is back. I was hoping they were going to do something interesting with them. I'm hoping at some point that he actually decides to turn and maybe is the one that cost Kofi Kingston the WWE Heavyweight Championship and just dissolve the New Day just a little bit. It's run its course. It can do with a little bit of a break right now, and you could always come back to it at a later time when you have them reunite, and it could be bigger than it ever was the first time. You could flip around fucking pancakes, you can ride unicorns, and you could blow fucking trombones till the cows come home. But I think that it's something, at this point, something needs to happen to turn this whole shit around and just get it out of Staleville. And I think a turn by Big E would have been a better way to go about tonight. Would have came out of nowhere. Maybe he sides with Dolph Ziggler. Like I've said before on this channel, they have a long storied history. They came up together for a while in OVW. They debuted almost simultaneously in the WWE after the whole Spirit Squad bullshit. When Dolph Ziggler became Dolph Ziggler, he was walking around with Big E by his side and AJ Lee on the other arm, and it was something they can go back to, something that would actually make sense. It would give reason for all of this Dolph Ziggler nonsense, because I don't want to hear Dolph Ziggler talking about boo-hoo, let me cry at my Goldilocks, where's my sweatshirt, I need my should have been me, man. I would much rather it have some sort of a dramatic backstory, something that you can latch onto and go, hey, you know what? This makes sense. And what I just pointed out to you can make sense. They can still do it. It can happen at Stomping Ground. But if it doesn't, then all of the rest of this shit and all of Dolph Ziggler's boo-hoo is just more nothing, and will continue to drag down the quality of this show. Because what did we do tonight? It wasn't anything we seen last night on Monday Night Raw, but it's exactly what we seen last week between these two, where we're having a battle of Titantron videos. Oh, well, you didn't show the part where you kicked Xavier Woods in the face, so let's show that part to the crowd. As if the fucking guys backstage are, psychic, and they know exactly where to cue everything up. Oh, Dolph's about to ask for that thing. Boop. You gotta at least try to make these shows feel natural and real, and not so scripted and TV. Kofi Kingston promised to defeat Dolph Ziggler in the steel cage match at Stomping Grounds. He said Ziggler will have nowhere to run. Kofi vowed to retain his title. Ziggler interrupts, said that there's only one reason Kingston is still the champion. He showed the footage again from Super Showdown. Then back and forth they went. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn made their way out. Zayn said if it were the other way around, the fans would be outraged and would be calling for somebody's heads. He called the fans hypocrites. Big E said they enjoyed watching Seth Rollins beat him with a chair. Ziggler called Kofi Kingston the biggest hypocrite in the WWE because he's supposed to be doing things with honor, but he did things the backhanded way, having Woods help him. Again, we're just talking about the same shit over and over and over again with different words. And then the next thing you know, it was fucking over, as Kofi Kingston promised to kick ass and take names. Everybody's going to say this now because it's the tagline. We're going to kick ass and take names. I've been hearing that fucking line since I'm like 8 years old from my old man. Now we're going to talk about it like it's new because a whole new generation never heard of fucking R. Lee Ermey. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, don't worry about it. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. Kayla Braxton interviewed Bayley backstage. She asked Bayley about Alexa Bliss's allegations. Oh, it's alleged. Like you can't just go, oh, let me see what this bitch said. I'm going to fire up my Twitter. What did this bitch say about me? No, we got to talk about he said, she said, allegedly. Get the fuck out of here. This is my least favorite part of the night, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this because I don't understand what the fuck they're doing with Alistair Black. I put a tweet out there. If you are not following me on Twitter, and you have to ask me in the comments, first of all, that's a little bit of a strike against you because it's right here. It's right here beneath my beautiful face. And I know it's hard for you to not look at my face, but if you want my Twitter information, it's at Nick Nightmare. It's right there. My Instagram is at Nick_Nightmare, which is right over there. You can go follow me on both of those little sites, and you can get more out of your Sledgehammer TV membership, so to speak. But Alistair Black, I kind of called him out a little bit now, and I was only doing so in jest, and I said I want somebody to tell Alistair Black that I will gladly fight him, bro. You want to come out on SmackDown and on Raw, and you want to keep asking somebody to pick a fight with you. I'm going to pick a fight with you, Alistair Black. I'm going to pick a fight with you right now. And you know why I'm going to do that? I'm going to do that just so I don't have to see any more of these fucking promos about you calling somebody out to please pick a fight with me. Please let it be me. Please somebody call me out. Please somebody pick a fight with me. And I feel like they turned Alistair Black into fucking Mojo Rawley. Remember what they did with Mojo Bobo? A couple of fucking months back, they had him sitting in the dark, talking to a fucking mirror. And that's the only thing missing is the mirror prop. But otherwise, this is the same shit. Mojo Rawley's yelling at himself, but Alistair Black's yelling to nobody. So essentially, he's yelling to himself and wants somebody to answer him. And now tonight he's going, open the door. Somebody open the door. And now some light finally shines in. And he's going, the door's wide open. Somebody fight me, bro. I will fight you, man. You will knock my fucking teeth down my throat within about 30 seconds, but I will take the bullet for the entire wrestling community just so the WWE can move past these ridiculous promo segments. Do you know what should have already happened? The first fucking time Alistair Black asked for somebody to pick a fight with him, it was kind of cool. You know, something you don't really see every day. He wasn't getting out of hand. He wasn't screaming like a jerk off. He just came out and he's like, listen, I'm just sitting back here waiting for somebody to pick a fight with me. I'm tired of picking fights with people. I want somebody to come and pick me out. Now let's fast forward all these weeks that we're seeing this shit over and over again. And now you have to realize for a second that we have not for weeks seen guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Roode, Rusev, just all fucking missing in action. And despite what happened last night, instead of putting him in a meaningless six-man tag team matchup, you could have had a guy like Cesaro, whose tag team partner is out recovering with an injury. He's got nothing to do. Alistair Black sitting in the fucking dock. He's got nothing to do. Why not take the Swiss Superman and put him up against the Dutch Destroyer? Have them go at it, have a few matchups where everything ends in a no contest, we don't get a true winner, and you have them meet at shitting grounds. There's something worth watching. Can you imagine the fucking match we can have between Cesaro and Alistair fucking Black? But no, we gotta show him every week doing a Mojo Rawley impersonation. SmackDown Live, Women's Champion Bayley defeated Nikki Cross with Alexa Bliss. I'd like to tell you guys that I gave a shit, but I don't. I will say this, though. Bayley hits about as hard as anybody I've ever seen. Some of the shots she was throwing was stiff as fuck. Looked like she really was going at it because I think she knew that Nikki Cross could take it. She's not in there with an Alexa Bliss Barbie doll. She's not in there with a lanky Charlotte Flair. She's not in there with Becky Lynch. She's in there with Nikki Cross. The Nikki Cross that went toe-to-toe with Asuka and was going through fucking tables and off the fucking announce stage and shit. Off the top of the ladder and can take abuse and is not afraid to be tough. So I think Bayley was really going out there and showing a little bit more of her toughness than you're used to seeing. The match, other than that, was okay at best. But my problem here is that Nikki Cross, who's supposed to be being made into a star, right? You brought her up from NXT to do what with her? We don't fucking know. You kept her away from Sanity. Now Sanity's not a thing. And now you took everything about her that was Sanity-ish and taken that away from her, and you've turned her into the nerd girl. The wallflower at the dance. The one that's too embarrassed to ask little Jimmy to fucking dance with her because she thinks Jimmy's gonna say no. Little poor Nikki who's sitting over there in the fucking corner, picking flower leaves off the flower petals because she's so alone in the world, until beautiful little Lexi, the star cheerleader of the fucking school, shows up. Oh, we can be friends now. I don't give a shit. We were talking about Degrassi before. This is exactly that. Are we being written by the fucking same exact writing crew of Degrassi fucking High? Canadian fucking teenage drama school? That's what I'm watching here. This is not what I want to see out of Nikki Cross. Being a fucking slave to Alexa Bliss after being one of the most vicious things you've ever seen in your life. Please. We had to go back, unfortunately, to 24/7 territory. Jinder Mahal found a fucking crowbar and a referee, but then he couldn't find the box. What's in the box, man? Where's the box? Jinder Mahal couldn't find the box. Someone told him the boxes were loaded on the truck, and that truck was going to LA. So Jinder Mahal is on his way to Los Angeles, apparently, to find R-Truth. But Truth was still in one of the boxes in the back, apparently, and Carmella is searching for him, but can't find him. Where is R-Truth? Where is the 24/7 title? Who fucking cares? We don't. We saw a repeat edition of the Firefly Funhouse. When I see the Firefly Funhouse on SmackDown Live, it loses points only because it is the exact same segment that we've seen on the previous night's Raw, and it would be interesting if they gave us a new segment for every show. Because Bray Wyatt is the best thing about the WWE right now. It doesn't matter what you think the message was. I have seen it all over social media once again. I have seen other people reporting on the fact that this particular episode of the Firefly Funhouse was supposedly a shot taken at Dean Ambrose. And watching it again tonight, it's almost clear to me that it's definitely in there. I don't know if it was its sole intention, but there are definitely seeds of that in there. So props to all of those in the community that spotted that, because that went over my head last night. I didn't notice it on my own. But I did enjoy this segment, again, for its 100% creepy, delicious goodness, and not the delicious, gooey shit that Bray Wyatt was eating up after he smashed Ramblin' Rabbit. I'm just talking about some good old-fashioned heebie-jeebies crawling up and down your spine when you see Bray Wyatt and this Firefly Funhouse, which started out as a fucking joke and to me was headed for disaster, but took a sharp left turn at Albuquerque and turned into Fiend territory and made this whole thing just a whole lot of fun to watch. So the more Firefly Funhouse, the better. Less 24/7, more Firefly Funhouse. Less Shane McMahon, more WWE champion. When Shane McMahon is getting more importance being placed above on him to be held above championships, that his story is more important than Kofi Kingston's championship run. His story is more important than Seth Rollins' championship run. His story is more important than Joe as the U.S. champion, Balor as the Intercontinental champion, who is another one who's been missing in action for weeks, probably due to some sort of a minor injury. I don't want to see it no more. Kayla Braxton's interviewing Apollo Crews in the back. Last week, Andrade attacked Apollo Crews. Again, another person who didn't show up for work this night. Andrade. Nowhere in sight. Crews wants some measure of revenge. Zelina Vega, however, interrupted and warned Crews not to anger Andrade because apparently he's ready somewhere in the back. Maybe he's in another one of those boxes with R-Truth. Maybe he's in the same box with R-Truth and they're waiting to get out of there to go to LA together and film a fucking movie. Who the fuck knows where Andrade was? Apparently, Zelina Vega doesn't know either. But as she left, Chad Gable's standing back there. He's got dots between the letters of his name, as if Gable is an acronym for something. As if it's, I don't know, Gumball, Asshole, Billy Club, Licking, Easter Egg. I don't know. Why? He's got his hair kind of combed like a fucking news reporter. He's standing there taking fucking notes. Was he Clark Kent now? Is he going to turn into fucking Super Gable? Before he goes out there to wrestle? Sitting back there just... What is he writing? What is he taking notes on? How to fucking suck? Oh, how to smile. I'm going to study Apollo Crews because that's all I've ever seen him do is a big cheese fucking grin. Apollo Crews, smile. Big grin, smile. What the fuck are you writing, bro? Zelina Vega's hot. Kayla Braxton has freckles. Apollo Crews smiles. What the fuck, bro? And the 6-man main event, we talked about it. We don't have to get into the whole fucking semantics of it. The fact of the matter is the New Day come out, not come out, but they come back as a trio and get the win over the team of Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. And we just reviewed and went over one of the most useless and unnecessary SmackDown lives we have seen all year. Thank you guys for joining me for this fucking episode. This was a hard one to even talk about because there was nothing to really talk about. I could have really started this video and said, you know what, you guys, just go watch yesterday's Raw review and that's tonight's SmackDown live review, and it would have been just as accurate. I would have been a little bit more positive about the Firefly Funhouse, but other than that, it would have been nearly identical. So I want to thank you all for being here with me once again. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed this week and that has put us over the 1,600 subscriber threshold as the march to 2K continues. And in honor of getting to that 2K, we are going to be bringing you guys some stomping ground preview matches brought to you by WWE 2K19's Gameplay Simulator with commentary brought to you by this guy right here. Still not sure what matches I'm gonna fire up, but they will be here before, one of them at least will be here before the weekend comes, with at least one more coming before the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view itself. Because unlike the WWE, I care about bringing content that pertains to what's going on to my fan base. And if Stomping Grounds what's going on, Stomping Ground is what I'm gonna give you, because what I give you is going to be 10,000 times better than what you get from the WWE. And if you don't believe me, just go watch our Goldberg versus Undertaker Super Showdown match, and then maybe you won't feel so ripped off as you did at the end of Super Showdown, because my encounter was way better. Just as the same could be said as for my match with Triple H and Randy Orton. Our simulation of that match was 10,000 times better than the sleep fest that they put us through at the Super Showdown. Those videos are live for you guys to check out on this channel right now. The Monday Night Raw review is live. The Super Shitdown review is live. We go over everything that was wrong with that show for you and pinpoint exactly what you need to know and how every way the WWE is just absolutely dropping the ball. I am your guide as we go through the land of everything wrong with everything the WWE does. And this is the channel to do that with. And you guys have discovered that now. And in order to not miss anything else we got coming up down the pipe, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so that you will be sure to be notified every time a brand new video goes up. And don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed anything we did today. And if you want to tell me that I'm awesome, it's that easy. All you gotta do is give me a little thumbs up. Hit that button right now if you enjoyed anything we had to say today or anything we did today. And then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling buddies all over the wrestling world, especially if they were bored to tears by tonight's SmackDown Live episode as well. My name, ladies and gentlemen, is Nick Nightmare. This is the team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. His tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Snowball. The most important member of the team, as always, is each and every one of you guys. That, my friends, is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV right here on YouTube.com.